It was raining again that night, just like the day they threw me out. Same cold drizzle, same gray sky. Only this time, they were the ones standing outside my door. I didn't rush to open it. I watched them through the security camera. My mother, my father, and my perfect brother, all huddled under one broken umbrella. They looked older, smaller, desperate. 5 years ago, they had looked down on me from the porch, disgusted when I came home jobless and divorced. Useless, my father had spat. You're an embarrassment. My mother didn't even meet my eyes. She just handed me a plastic bag with my clothes and said quietly, "You can't stay here." My brother had laughed. "Maybe the rain will wash your bad luck off." That was the last time I saw them until now. When I finally opened the door, their eyes darted past me, straight to the house behind. Their house once, or so they believed. I stood in the doorway, silent. My father was the first to speak. "You're alone, aren't you? No husband, no children." "You don't need all this space," my mother added. "This house was bought with family money. It belongs to us." My brother smiled, that same superior curl of his lip. "We're moving in, sister." I didn't answer. I just tilted my head slightly like I was listening to something distant. Then I pulled out my phone. One call. That was all it took. And as it rang, I let my mind drift back to the night they left me in the rain. I remember sitting on that wet sidewalk, clutching my bag like it was life itself. I had no money, no home, no one. But sometimes being stripped of everything is the best thing that can happen to you. It exposes who really loved you and who only loved your usefulness. I found work at a diner first, then as a clerk. I stayed quiet, invisible, efficient. And at night, I studied. I learned real estate, finance, law. Every penny I earned, I saved. Every person who dismissed me, I remembered. 2 years later, I joined a property firm. 4 years later, I owned one. And 5 years later, I bought the very house they once kicked me out of from the bank after their bankruptcy. They didn't even know it was me who signed the papers. That was my first revenge. Silent, surgical, clean. The phone clicked. "Yes, ma'am," a voice said on the other end. "Activate Plan B," I said softly. "Now?" "Yes, Miss Harris." My father frowned. "Plan B?" I stepped aside. Behind me, through the wide glass windows, they could see figures moving inside the house. Security, lawyers, a representative from the city's property division. My brother's smirk faltered. "What's going on?" I looked him straight in the eye. "You remember when you took a loan against this house?" "You defaulted. The bank repossessed it. I bought it." He blinked, confused. "You?" I nodded. "Yes, 5 years ago." My father's face twisted in disbelief. "That's impossible." "It's legal," I cut in. "You signed the transfer yourself. I made sure of it. All I had to do was wait. When I first learned they were drowning in debt, I didn't rush to help. I waited until their house was on the auction list. I even made the offer anonymously through a shell company. They thought a stranger bought it. The day I moved in, I found their old family portraits still hanging in the hallway. I didn't take them down. I wanted them to see what they lost when they eventually came crawling back. And now here they were, dripping rainwater on my doorstep, demanding what they once threw away. My brother stepped forward, voice trembling. "You can't do this. We have nowhere to go." I looked at him calmly. Neither did I. My mother's voice cracked. "Please, we're family." "Family?" I almost smiled. That word sounds different when you say it now. Behind them, a black car pulled up. 2 officers stepped out, followed by a man in a gray suit. My lawyer, I didn't have to explain. They already knew the protocol. A restraining order, legal eviction, everything done quietly, properly. I turned to my lawyer. "Handle it." Then I closed the door slowly, deliberately on their shouts, their pleading, their disbelief, silence. Just the rain again, tapping against the glass. I stood there for a long time, watching their shadows disappear down the driveway. The same driveway I once walked barefoot, drenched and broken. People talk about revenge like it's loud, shouting chaos, fire, but mine was quiet. It didn't need noise, just patience, precision, and the kind of pain that teaches you how to wait. When the call ended and the papers were signed, I walked into the study. The house was warm, glowing with soft light. My house, my silence, my victory. I poured myself a glass of wine and looked out at the rain-soaked street. In the reflection on the window, I saw myself. Not the woman they threw out, but the one who came back without saying a word. Justice doesn't always come in the form of confrontation. Sometimes it comes in the form of ownership, of peace, of space, of silence. They once told me I was nothing without them. Now they have nothing. And all it took was one.